teams that got worse after a trade they made this offseason. There are a lot to choose from, Charean. I'll give you the first pick.
I'm going to start with Seattle. I think that's the obvious one, Mike. You trade Russell Wilson for Drew Lock. I just don't think that's makes you a better football team. Maybe in the long run when they get the picks, if they use those well, okay. But you're talking about a guy that's made 21 starts. His team went 8-13 in those 21 starts, 25 touchdowns and 20 interceptions. And we know what Russell Wilson did for the Seahawks, the greatest player in team history. So that, to me, did not make the Seattle Seahawks better.
I'll start with the Green Bay Packers. Getting Aaron Rodgers back, trading Davante Adams, consciously making your receiving core worse, and then on top of it, not getting Marquez Valdez-Scantling re-signed before you trade Davante Adams, even though you know you're going to. That, to me, is a disaster for the Packers. Sims believes it makes them playoff contender, removes them from being Super Bowl contender in the NFC. So Packers got worse by doing that trade, and they're going to have to go out and reach on a receiver and hope that when he shows up, Aaron Rodgers doesn't say, where the hell did you get this guy?
Yeah, no doubt, Mike. And you look what Davante did over the last 2 years, all pro, 11 touchdowns and 18 touchdowns. I don't know how you replace that.
You don't. You don't, unless you get Randy Moss. That's the only way you do it. And I don't know that there's a Randy Moss. And, you know, there's plenty of great receivers. You're going to roll the dice, though. You may get the guy that becomes the N'Keal Harry. I've said about the Cowboys, 2019, they could have had Deebo Samuel. They could have had DK Metcalf. They could have had A.J. Brown. They also could have had N'Keal Harry. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get a guy who can come in and get it done.
That's exactly right, Mike. And you look at their roster now with the receivers they have, and I can't imagine that Aaron Rodgers is pleased with where they are now at that receiver position. And there's no free agents out there that you'd really want on your roster either that's going to come in and help to replace Davante Adams, who's one of the top 3 receivers in the game.
And there's been some talk about them trading for DK Metcalf. Look, they didn't even look in the direction of Tyreek Hill. This goes against what they're doing when they build their roster, and I'm just surprised by it. All right, give me another team that's gotten worse as a result of a trade they've made.
Well, I'm going to go with the Chiefs simply because I think, again, Tyreek Hill is one of the top 3 receivers in football. And I just have a feeling, and I said this the other day, Mike, that this could end up being a lose-lose trade for both Tyreek Hill and the Chiefs, because I think Tyreek Hill is going to miss Patrick Mahomes, and I think Patrick Mahomes is going to miss Tyreek Hill. I know who they have at the receiver position now. They have Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but those guys are not Tyreek Hill. I mean, he just takes the top off of a defense, and I don't see either one of those receivers doing that. So to me, the Chiefs got worse, and everybody else in their division has gotten better this offseason.
I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. 2 weeks ago, Matt Ryan's their quarterback. They had restructured his contract unless they hadn't. And my understanding is that the team's position is that was a false report by NFL media, partially owned by the Atlanta Falcons, about the restructuring. I don't know that I buy that, but they don't do the restructuring. They trade Matt Ryan after they don't get Deshaun Watson. They have Marcus Mariota as their starter now. They got a 3rd-round pick for Matt Ryan, a cornerstone of the team since 2008. They have definitely gotten worse. And you can't help but wonder whether or not they're deliberately accepting that, everything but the $100,000 offer for each loss to Arthur Smith as they try to tank for 2022. I don't know how else you explain going from Matt Ryan to Marcus Mariota and only getting a 3rd-round pick to do it, Charean.
Well, and the quarterback draft next year, Mike, looks even better than this year. So maybe that's the plan. Maybe that is the plan, to tank and get one of those quarterbacks next year. And you're in better shape because Matt Ryan is, 37 now? So you were going to have to start over at that position anyway sometime soon. So maybe this gets you a head start on that if you're really bad this year.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.